Welcome to Cult Fiction, everybody. Um, Bueller is already mad. He's mad. He's so bad because stupid Zoom was giving him a headache. So he's going to be extra angry tonight for his review of the show.
He's got to go
Tonight
first.
we're talking about we're gonna get him on first. We're talking about Man on Fire. This we've been
I don't even
talking
know.
about
Like,
this
is it good?
show.
Is it good for me to go first and just get it out, or should I
Get
just
it,
wait
yeah,
on
dude. Get
fucking
it,
boil?
Gotta let it go.
get it out of your
Let
Boil.
it
system.
go
Get it out of
through
your
you, whatever it is.
just channel like
Man on
oh
fire. Fire the man on fire.
that's it. Just let it out, dude, like a phoenix punch. And so we're talking about Man on Fire tonight. We've been waiting to talk about this show. I feel like we've been talking about it for like a month, 2 months. So tonight, the actual full review of season 1 of Man on Fire. We're going to be talking about it, and we're going to start with Bueller because he's ready to go Super Saiyan right
But
now.
Alex has
Yeah.
trivia.
And Alex has trivia, so let's get a
First,
clue first. Clue
first
first.
trivia clue. Sincerely.
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 That's subtle. That's subtle.
As the first clue should be. I like
Is
it
it the
though.
name of a dog?
Sincerely. I like that.
Oh, man, sincerely. No, it's the name of the cat.
Are we are we
Sincerely.
are we texting you, or what are we doing here? Text.
Do you want us to text you or do you want us
Text me. Text me. It's fine.
Okay.
I feel like,
Sincerely.
yeah.
That's a good clue. That's a good
I'm
clue.
gonna throw out. I'm just gonna throw out like a.
No, I'm not even gonna guess because I'm not positive, so I don't even know.
I'm still gonna guess.
I'm gonna just let it simmer. So okay, Bueller is gonna channel his rage into a fireball of
No, I'm gonna be
opinion.
cool. I'm gonna be cool.
I can't wait to hear what you've got to say. Eric and I talked just a little bit, just very briefly about it, but I haven't talked to Alex and Bueller yet about the show at all. So it'll be interesting to see what everybody has to say.
Okay. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna chill out. Everything's cool. Everything's fine. Bunny be cool. Bunny be cool.
Everybody be cool.
Everybody be cool. This is so Man on Fire Netflix edition. Could have been called. This is one of those things where, like with a Roadhouse, could have been called anything. Roadhouse could have been called Bar by the Road. Could have been called Florida. Could have been called Florida Man. Could have been called anything because it didn't embody Roadhouse. Man on Fire could have been called Burn. Could have been called Vengeance. Could have
Mm.
been called Tom Clancy's Black Ryan. Could have been called a lot of things.
I was going.
But
I was going with a man smoldering a bit.
a man smoldering a bit. So,
Man in Mexico City.
like we know Man on Fire. We know Denzel's Man on Fire, right?
Right.
The original Man on Fire movie was based on a novel and it took place in Italy, but it still had like the same characteristics of the Man on Fire that we all know and love from Denzel Washington. It is a book series. The first book is called Man on Fire, which is what all this comes from, and that's where Creasy comes from. And so we kind of get the lead in from this version of Man on Fire, where we have Creasy, we have his past, we have him as a struggling alcoholic with a new mission to try, and he has to try to overcome that alcoholism and become a better person and learn how to do all the training that he had beforehand to do his new mission. And then everything goes off the fucking rails. The second book in that series is called The Perfect Kill. So apparently, this movie incorporates, or this show incorporates, aspects from the second book called A Perfect Kill that literally none of us are familiar with.
Mhm.
So fucking why? What?
Right.
Why? What's the point? Like our Man on Fire is what we knew with Denzel, with Mickey Rourke, with Christopher Walken. Like I didn't expect the exact same thing to be repeated in a Netflix series. Not the exact same thing, but I didn't want it to be like this is like this is a very extreme example, but this is like if they were like, "Oh, here's the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but it's surf ninjas with the turtles' names, and they're not
Right.
turtles." That's what I'm seeing here. This was not Man on Fire. Like Eric said, this is barely smoldering person.
Hmm.
And it was weak. boring at times. I had to laugh at it because I was like, okay, so this episode is just called "Let's Just Watch Poe Run Downhill in Scrubs." Awesome. Okay, if that's what it's going to be, uh, and I'll let Alex get to the whole like his thing about it, but god damn, man, it really just kind of it was like it was written by two different people.
Mm.
Like all right, 4 of the 7 episodes, and then I'm gonna let Elmo from Sesame Street write the last. What the fuck, man?
That's funny. So thumbs down.
Ball dropped. Ball dropped.
Yeah, yeah. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Okay, and we might come back around on just one more quick thing too. But
And also, I want to say, like, I love the actor who played Creasy. I think he's great.
Yeah.
Everything else I've seen him in, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. But I felt like his whole delivery in the entire series, he sounded like uh, Shaquille O'Neal bored during an interview.
Right. So I do want to go around the table on him real quick after we talk about Man on Fire. I just want to talk about his name is Yayhe Abdul-Mateen II. And I just wanted to get basically an opinion on him as after we're done talking about the show. But I haven't heard at all from Alex yet about what he thought about this, and so I'm really actually very interested to hear what you have to say, sir.
Well, first we want to do a second clue.
Let's do a second clue. So
So
sincerely,
first clue was sincerely. Second clue is Ace.
Ace.
Ace. Okay, I am sending a guess. I'm sending a guess.
I don't know. My guesses are all over the board. They don't matter. I'm rapid fire.
You want me to tell you guys the missed guesses? Jubal got it.
Jubal got it? Nice. No,
Yeah.
don't tell us the missed guesses. No.
No
Okay.
missed guesses.
So me, yeah, man, this show took a swan dive straight into the shitter, man. Like I don't know what the fuck happened because I said it on the first cast too, where it was like after the second episode, I was kind of like, when he's like flying an airplane over onto the highway and shit. I'm kind of like, this is getting really big, really fast, you know. Just sort of like, but even that,
Yeah, you said it could go off the rails.
I liked that scene though.
Yeah.
I liked the airplane scene.
yeah. And then like once he knocked himself out in someone else's safe room, you know, I was just like, okay, yeah, this is going to be hard. And it just sort of like throughout the entire show, they couldn't really have him take the lead and be the man on fire because he constantly needed help from like, you know, Poe and the Uber driver and like the the drug dealer and shit. And so it was just like he could never be man on fire. And it was like I was willing to give the show like a kind of a like, okay, passable rating until like the last half hour or so of the last episode, and like Poe saves the day with her judo, you know, and it's just like, I see you know your judo well, you know, it's just like, okay, yeah, and it's just like it could never, like all these stuff started stacking all these like incredulities, and I'm like, really, like this guy is in the favelas with like one handgun, and he makes it out with the hostage, like how does this guy not dead 100 times by the time he's left this place? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like there's so many things I can't wrap my head around. And even that, in shows like this, you know, movies like this, you have to forgive little things that, you know, aren't going to be realistic. I get that, but it's just sort of like it was like they got too concerned with making sure every little minor character had their big moments.
Right.
And they were
actually that's what I text Alex.
Yeah.
I was like, this was like Man on Fire, Too Fast, Too Furious.
Right.
It was like Man on Fire, the heist movie.
Dude,
right.
Yeah.
But except Man on Fire is not the leader really, because he kind of sucks at most things, unless he's like, you know, chopping somebody sometimes. It's just like, you know, one of the things that made the movie so good, Denzel's movie, is like this guy was like fully capable of doing all these things, and he was like a force to be reckoned with. Hence the name, you know, Man on Fire. like this show is like he is like dependent on all these other people, like these random team of civilians that he needs to accomplish all these things. And it's sort of
I think the term is family. Family.
yeah. Now the Uber driver was not family, bro. Like,
That's funny, Joe.
and it's just sort of like, and it started to pick up again when like he's trying to break into the prison and everything, and I'm kind of like, okay, it's
Right.
kind of an interesting thing, breaking into the prison, and then for some, I don't understand why his forger was like risking his life and shit for these people, and they're like sneaking
Right.
into a prison. So they're sneaking in his plans to come up with a helicopter and start shooting everybody. It's like, what? And like, apparently bullets can't travel up in the Man on Fire universe is what happens. And I'm just,
Yeah, because you would think by happenstance,
Yeah,
some of
there's
those
like-
bullets would have
There's
went
like
right.
50 guys shooting assault rifles at
Yeah,
that chopper.
like,
They
they
wouldn't
would've-
care.
they would have
Some of those bullets are going to
ricocheted off the helicopter.
hit the
Just
helicopter.
make sparks or something. I don't know. And just say, oh, our Kevlar infused bulletproof armor is holding up something.
Right.
Like, and I just everything that happened after like the first couple episodes was just like more and more of me just going, really? Really? And I remember when we were talking about the first episode, I was like, man, this might really be a case of, the critics got it wrong, because I saw all the reviews and I'm like, no, those reviews were correct. And like, this show is like garbage tier at this point. Like the first episode had me, I got it focused on me, and I was willing to give it like but one of the things that really bugged me was they just started killing all the security guards, and I don't know if they're security or cops or whatever you want to call them, but apparently it was okay for them to just start killing all these people.
Right.
I don't know, man. Like I don't know what happens, but I like the second season.
I feel like were we misled in the previews? Because I feel like the prison fight scene was bigger in the previews.
Yeah.
Than we got.
Yeah, it did seem like in the previews there was going to be more action. There wasn't a whole lot of action. Anyway, Eric, go ahead and go. I'll wrap it up and I'll talk about a couple of the things I think that you and I already talked about.
Yeah. So, I think.
Oh yeah, you know what, dude? Let's do a clue real quick. So you had sincerely, Ace,
and Jubal got it after clue number 2. The third clue is a pile of shit has 1,000 eyes.
Did you see my last guess? Because I think I got it.
Did you see Bueller's Last Guess?
Right there. Nope.
It's not it, huh? All right.
So a pile of shit has 1,000 eyes.
Now I have no idea.
Yeah, that
Right?
doesn't sound familiar to me
That's
at all.
Probably not helpful.
No, not helpful at all.
Okay, go ahead, Eric. Man on Fire.
Yeah, so I think I walked into it thinking it was going to be like Reacher season 1, and it was more like Reacher season 2. But with instead of like a team of his equals, it was a team of random people that he just collected along the way. And that's not what I was watching Man on Fire for. Like I was watching Man on Fire for like a dude to like beat the crap out of people and like be ruthless in his interrogations.
Put a bomb in somebody's butt.
Right. Yeah. Cut off fingers while he's like, strapped to the, car,
Right.
to the steering wheel. And it was just none of that. I liked the first 3 episodes. The 4th one was ruined with the self KO. The 5th one was starting to bring me back. And then I just really did not like the last 2 episodes. It was just, it was almost like he couldn't do anything without their help, And I'm like, this is not what I get, okay, you helped him into the prison. Cool.
Yeah.
But then when you had to like pretend to be a bomb squad to get him out and then the helicopter, and I was like, okay, so what is this?
Right.
I was getting quite annoyed. What I will say is I like the guy so much that if, and how it ends, it looks like he's going to go to Mexico City after the people who like caused all this trauma for him. I'll watch a second season, but if in the second episode he's already collecting more randos, I'll turn it off because I'm like, okay, I know what we're doing here. We're doing this again. Like if I get a second season and it's what I thought the first season was going to be, where he's more healed now, because this is one of the things Jubal's going to probably talk about, is that at no point, and I think Alex and Bueller both touched on it. At no point did it seem like he was actually good at any of this, like really good, and
like scary and fiction.
Right, like scary good, like And so if the second season comes and he's kind of put away a lot of the demons and stuff, cool. But if he's still in the first episode, he's still hearing loud noises and it's making him buckle, and he starts collecting randoms, I'm gonna be okay. Well, never mind.
Right.
I'm going to turn it off now, But I like the guy. I like the idea of Creasy so much that I would still watch. I would begin to watch a second season. Let's put it that way.
Eric is he's a lot more forgiving. You're a lot more forgiving.
Yeah, I'm a lot more forgiving. Yeah.
When you have a character that you like, you're willing to put up with a lot more.
Right. But if they start, again, in the first couple episodes, you start doing the same things again.
Right.
Then I got to tap out. I got to save myself the headache.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I think that's
right.
I
had no idea it was a book series. I knew it was based on a book, but now there's a book series. I'm like,
I think there's 5 books. I want to say 5 books. Mm-hmm. And so the first Man on Fire, the original movie in the 80s was based on the first book, and so was Denzel's. But the original movie took place in Italy, which is where the book did as well. Mm-hmm. But Peta was the girl in both, I believe. And they just kind of transferred it to South America. Sure. But to incorporate bits of the second book that nobody knows anything about and do what they did with it was an abomination, and
it seems like a waste.
And still I would be okay with that over the judo throw, and I'd be okay with that over her running like one way in a favela and then the guy running the opposite way out of the favela, and then them somehow running into each other so that he could kidnap her, Right.
I gotta say,
I don't know why he's teaching her judo, but then he hands her a taser, remember? And I was like, oh, okay, she's going to use the taser, because when he's teaching her judo, I'm like, oh, I hope she doesn't flip the bad guy at the end.
No, that whole judo scene was foreshadowing. You knew that.
Of course it was. Right.
It was like that. It was like that.
We were all watching it.
That awful second Jack Reacher movie where he's like, well, I guess we're dead already, right? It's like, oh my God, so tropey and lame. Come on.
Yeah. So, and then there was other things.
It would have been fine. She just zapped the dude.
Zap him.
Yeah. And the twist, didn't even make sense with their friend, selling them out and having him go, yeah, you should blow up their building because, with those two guys working together, they'll figure it out. Yeah, except that didn't need to happen, because as soon as the guy who brought Creasy in Bobby C. said, what's that?
Bobby C.
Once Bobby C said, well, if you're not going to hire him, then I'm gone. You say, oh, okay, sorry, wish it could have worked out.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's over.
And they're both gone. And you don't need to blow up their building. Hey,
the whole reason I thought Bobby C was in on it.
Right.
Because that whole scene was so innocuous. It was like, no, I told him this. Like, okay, that seems very set up and fake. But no.
Right. And so the whole idea that like, no, we have to blow up their building because if those two guys are working together, they're bound to figure it out. Okay, well, but then he gave you the out, like, don't hire him and you might as well fire me. See ya.
Right.
Oh,
sounds good.
That's so much weight off my shoulder. We don't have to blow up a building now.
Right. And then if you do some terrorist attack, that dude will just... he'll beat himself up and be like, man, if I had just been there, maybe I could have done, you don't have to kill his whole family and then another 600 people. It's like, oh, come on,
Right. Okay. Let's have a final clue, Alex.
Well, we might need another one. I guess it's not going as well as it could have been, but I got 2 more. One will absolutely give it away, but this one is the 4th clue. The kid wasn't sick.
The kid wasn't sick.
I don't know what the fuck this is.
The kid wasn't sick. Okay.
If that
So-
one doesn't get you, I got one more that I think will probably give it away.
All right. Do you want to do it now or do you want to wait?
What do you guys think? You just like
I will do it now because I have no
don't
clue.
know.
Yeah.
Last clue is chopper sick balls.
Jesus Christ. All right. I got that one. Eric, do you have that one or no?
Chopper.
God damn
Sick balls.
I wish you would have done eyeball instead of ace.
Right.
Monster Squad? No.
Ooh, that's a good one. Kick him in the nards. Kick him in the nards. Wolfman ain't got nards.
That was Monster Squad was a great movie. Do you have another off the top of your head clue, Alex, for Eric?
I don't.
Have you ever wanted to see a dead body?
I was going to use gun, but I think that's a little too vague.
Mm.
Did you hear me, Eric?
Oh yeah. Is it Stand By Me?
Stand by Me.
Oh,
There you
okay. Yeah. I haven't seen that
So-
movie in 40 years.
go. That was such a good movie, though. It really was a great movie. It really was something.
What was
special.
the third clue again?
Pile of shit.
A pile of shit has 1,000 eyes.
Oh,
Oh,
That's
because
With the playing cards in the
Okay.
clubhouse. Then you four-eyed pile of shit. A pile of shit has 1,000 eyes.
okay. Yeah. Man, I would have done so many different things. Sincerely's good. I would have done like pennies under the porch.
Right.
Man. All right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I almost went with like I brought the cone.
Oh, yeah. Good. Yeah, I dig that one.
I would have said maybe instead of ace, I would have said no ace, just you.
Yeah.
Right.
Biggest one in 4 counties.
Still,
Or what
none of those would have made me get it.
What was the guy? Who was the guy who ate all the pies? What was his name?
Oh, wow.
Lardass.
Lardass.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you haven't seen Stand by Me, great movie. So let me break down.
If you haven't seen Stand By Me, fucking grow up.
Let me break down my take on Man on Fire, because I said in our last episode, I said I was going to be really bummed out if this show ended up being shitty. It's going to ruin my whole year, and so so my year is ruined, right? Because it was a bad show. It was a bad show. It was very poorly written, is what happened.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Denzel Washington's Creasy had a switch. Like, he had all this damage and he had all these problems, but when he flicked the switch, it was all business. And competence is sexy. Being able to do things and do them extremely well is what made Creasy so formidable. He had all these weaknesses and he had all these problems, but he had a switch that you would turn on, and now it's business time, right? And this John Creasy, exactly. This Creasy did not have that at all. This Creasy was too damaged. He was too wounded, right? He needed to be able to compartmentalize that to some degree for him to be the character that this show is really about. Because again, competence is what is cool and sexy. The other thing that I really didn't like about this show and the way that it was put together, there was no breakdown. There was no, like in Ocean's 11, you have, they tell you the plan. They're like, here's the casino. We're going to go in right here. We're going to do this. This is we got our grease man. We got our, the jewels are going to be in the safe. There's, you got the, yeah, you got the theme song going in the background and you're walking through the plan. And as the movie unfolds, like, everything goes wrong, but you know what's supposed to be happening. And it almost makes it like more thrilling because you're watching the plan come apart and you're watching them react to these elements of the plan that aren't working, right? There was none of that in this. It's like, what's the plan?
Flying by the seat of his pants half the time.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to a prison now. There's no plan. There's no plan. There's no coffee table with like a blueprint on it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you come in here, you do that. Like that's a necessary part of a show like this, because you need the audience to be able to understand what the objectives are of what's happening. And half the time I had no idea what he was even trying to do. Like in the room when he knocked himself out, that was, first of all, that was stupid. Like, that is the opposite of competent, right? That was embarrassing. And that pulled me out of the entire show because I was like, that's just embarrassingly bad writing.
I want to interject here. Like, this is not to disparage anybody who has PTSD, but that was a very poor display of what PTSD is like.
Right.
And I
Right.
think it's very unfair to people who do suffer from PTSD because I
Right.
don't think that is a very well display of what happens.
Right. It's like PTSD now. It seems like in a lot of shows that I've seen, it's like audiophobia, right? It's like just any loud noise and you're like, you can't function. That's not necessarily what PTSD is. So anyway, um, John Creasy in this show was not competent, and that means that he was not an interesting character. And also, they screwed up the rhythm. Like just the rhythm of the show was off. It was always off. Let me give you an example. In the last episode, they're in the hospital. They're behind the counter, like the cops are shooting at them, and they're like shooting back at the cops, right? And Creasy's fighting the guy, and Poe is calling for help. Help! They're gonna come and get us. And they like run out of bullets, and the cops are coming, and Creasy's like running down the hall, and then they're like, oh no, the cops are almost here. We're out of bullets, and he's in a closet, like mixing chemicals. It's like, no, you don't have time for that. Okay? Like they're out of bullets. Like what you needed to be doing was you needed to be on the mezzanine up above them and like look down and see the cops coming. And you look one way and you look the other way, you grab something and you tape something to it and you hit it with something and you throw it. That's the time that you have, right? That you don't get to go to a closet and unscrew the cap off some chemicals and mix some things and put a napkin. You don't have time for that. And there's a bunch of places in this show where they just screwed up the rhythm really, really bad. And it's like, you can't do that. That's bad. That's bad directing. So it's both the directing and the writing of this series. I really do not like. I think you guys did a shit job, director and writer of this series. The one person who did not do a shit job was Yayhe Abdul-Mateen, who is fucking awesome. I love this actor. Like, even after watching this show, with the garbage that they handed him, he was still by far the best part of the show and still compelling enough that I can't give it an absolute thumbs down. I just enjoyed watching him so much.
I wish he didn't sound like Shaq in a board interview the entire time.
I think that was, again, I think that's bad directing. It's like the guy's like more gruff, more street. I could see some stupid director with like, dreadlocks, it's vaping. He's like, oh yeah, more street. I can just see it.
Just bring your voice down low.
But
so we're gonna go through this.
I thought Abdul-Mateen did a phenomenal job, but the show sucked.
Yeah,
it's a shame. Are we all going to give it a thumbs down?
I didn't.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't recommend it to anybody.
Ultimately, the first season is a thumbs down, but like I said, I would still begin to watch season 2 in hopes that they learned lessons.
In hopes that they have a new writer and a new director.
I'm with you guys on that. But like, when it comes to thumbs up or thumbs down, like a thumbs down means I can't recommend this show to anybody.
And you know what? And I literally said that exact same thing to Jubal last night. I said, ultimately, what sucks about this show is that I can't, in good faith, recommend it to anybody. Right. And go, oh, you'll dig it.
So what sucks is if the second season is really good, you have to tell people skip the first season.
Yeah.
And that sucks. Because I want Abdul-Mateen to be awesome and make a ton of money in everything that he does, because I want him to be in a bunch of stuff.
And I'm sure he was sold this because of Denzel's Man on Fire.
Of course.
Who knows what happened, post editing and all that kind of shit. Like, it could have been a completely different show that he signed off on.
Whatever. All I know is it was not good. It just wasn't good. Sorry, everybody. Man on Fire, not good.
I brought up DTF St. Louis before, and like I was so hype on that for the first 3 episodes, and then it took a major shit, and so now I'm embarrassed that I ever even brought it up to people, because I recommended the show at work, and people watched it at work, and I'm like, I'm fucking sorry. I'm so sorry.
Ouch.
I'm so sorry.
Does anybody else got anything that they've been watching that sucks? You want to wave people off? You're like, no, don't do that. Don't do that one.
DTF St. Louis is mine, so don't do that.
I understand. So, okay, so that's pretty much all we've got for tonight. However, next week we're going to have a longer episode because we're going to be talking about Daredevil, the season 2 wrap of Daredevil Born Again season 2, and we're going to talk about the Punisher short. So two important things. Those are both going to be leading into the new Spider-Man movie. That's an exciting thing. Anybody else got a last thing they want to share, or are we out of here?
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We're done. That was it. That was quick. Sorry that Man on Fire sucked, but it sucks.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.